Hey everyone, Diego here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be showcasing my top 4 Amethyst Steel deck list, RoyalSteel. I was able to secure a Scar promo and a Scar playmat. It was a long day, but worth it in the end. I'd like to also thank Battleground Games and Hobbies for hosting a great tournament. Now without further ado, here's the deck list. I run 4 Diablos. This card is really good because you always get value out of it. Whether it's banished, you draw, or it just stays on the board and you keep questing for 1. I run 4 because I want to see it most of the time, and I definitely want to have a 1 drop on my first turn. Next, I run 3 Chernobog's Followers. This card, I feel like it's still a must in the deck as a 1 drop. Because anytime you quest, you can banish it if you need an extra draw, or if you're reversing, like say aggro, or your opponent doesn't have anything on their board, you can just keep it on the board, keep questing until 1, and then once you feel like this card might be threatened, you then quest, pop, and then draw. So you can use it in many various ways, and it's really flexible, and you just gotta be smart in how you use it. The same goes for the next 1 drop. I run 3 Magic Brooms. Same deal. You quest, you play a character. If this card is threatened, or if you need a card to ink, then you trigger effect to banish and draw. But if you don't, you just keep questing until 1, until this card, until it's threatened, or you might need a card to ink, then you pop it to draw 1. So really good. Also, Magic Broom, Chernobog's Followers, and Diablo pair up really well with Crab if you're against aggro, so just keep that in mind as well. Next, I run 2 Firelight Canyons just to reach those characters maybe in the back that they're still wet and you don't want them questing next turn or challenging, so you take them out before they get the chance to do so. Also, like maybe a big character has enough willpower for this to just take it away, to just banish it, then there you go. You don't have to wait for it to exert again or until the next turn. I run 4 Mr. Smee. I still think this is the best 2 drop for Steel. Maybe even the game. It's inkable, it's cheap, it costs 2, quest for 2, 3 strength, 3 willpower. So yeah, it's gonna be really useful every time you drop it, whether you're questing with it or you're trying to clear your opponent's board. This is also my preferred 2 drop in general that I want to see on turn 2 rather than the other ones I run. I run 3 Kowloon. This card shines versus aggro or hyper aggro because you're controlling their board and at the same time you're keeping up with their lore. So really good, and that resist one really helps because a lot of the hyper aggro decks, their strength is really low, so Kowloon can take out a few before it's taken out. I run 4 copies of Madam Mim's Snake. I don't really want to see this card as my 2 drop on turn 2. I'd rather see it on mid game or late game when I'm able to bounce cards that have on play and exit play effects. So yeah, that's when he comes in clutch, or she comes in clutch, sorry. I play 4 Lawrence. This guy, he's quite the challenge for your opponent because he comes in, he's at 4/4, so he can't easily be banished by say like a Brawl or a Medusa. And then more likely than not, he's taking out a character just to banish him because they have to crash into him with 1 character and then finish him off with the next. Any quest for 2, meanwhile he's waiting to be taken out. I run 4 the White Rose. I think 4 is the number I chose because I really want to see it during endgame, and I'll prefer the Lawrence on my turn 3. This is the card I want to see on turn 3, rather because he quests for 2 and he's harder to take out. But the White Rose, I really want to see her towards the end of the game because if I don't see Goat, then I see her, then you know, it's still GG's. But yeah, definitely want to run 4 and definitely want to see it. I run 4 Metamim Fox. It's still my favorite Amethyst card. Just helps you recycle cards, and then hits for 4, most likely banishing whatever it hits or trading. So really good. I just love this card a lot. It's my favorite card. I run 2 Merlin Crabs to help against those locations, those big characters, and aggro. This pairs really well, like I said before, with your 1-drops. So you always want to see him, especially in your mulligan. You want to try to find Crab and Fox. Snake too, just so you can bounce your cards that help against board control. So yeah, I just run 2. I'm thinking about maybe running a little bit more, but we'll see. For now, I think 2 is good. I draw enough where I can see them. I run 3 Pete. This card does wonders against Song decks and Ruby decks. You know, you play him on the turn before your opponent can play Be Prepared, and you're good to go. And then you bounce him with one of the Madam Mims, play him again, and keep your opponent locked out of that play for a good amount of turns. I play 4 copies of Friends on the Other Side. We run a lot of 3-drops and higher cost characters, so you always want to try to sing this card. Never hard cast it unless you absolutely have to, because that hurts, you know, because then you draw cards that turn, and then if you don't have enough ink to do anything else, then what do, you know? So it's better to play a character, and the next turn use them to sing, and then you have a whole full ready ink to do whatever with the cards that you drew. The end game MVP, 4 Merlin Goats. Like once you start getting into the end game, like maybe like 14 to 15 ink, and you start playing Go, bouncing Go, I like to call it Goat time. You find that you increase in lore so quickly by bouncing. Even if it's just 1 lore that you gain when he leaves and plays, it racks up, and it gets you to the end game much quicker. I run 4 Merlin Rabbits. I really love this card. This card draws so much. I don't run the genies because I find that every time I play the genie, he literally just gets taken out the next turn. So he doesn't even get the chance to sing, quest, challenge, nothing. So Rabbit, at least he gives me value when he leaves play, whether he's being banished, inked, or bounced back to my hand. So I really much like this card, and so yeah, it's definitely a 4 for me, and it's definitely a better card for me personally than Genie. I run 4 Along Came Zeus. I really want to see this card always versus like the big characters, so I make sure to maximize on it. So it's really good. It pretty much takes out anything that it hits. So yeah, really good. And we love to sing it instead of hard casting it. I play only 2 Elsas because I mainly run it for the hyper aggro or aggro matchups. Most of the time I find myself just inking her. So yeah, just 2, because again, I draw enough where I'll eventually see her by turn 5, and yeah, I'll be able to use her to take some characters out. And finally, I run 2 Grab Your Swords. This card helps clear out aggro and helps maybe finish off some big characters that are still with a few willpower remaining. So yeah, and especially if you get to sing it with Elsa, it's just even better. All right, that's my quick RoyalSteel updated RoyalSteel deck profile. I hope you liked it. I hope if you want to run it, see how far you can go. Hopefully you top, and yeah, let me know. As always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, And yeah, happy questing.